Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome to another interview with Elemental Connections, talking about the unseen realms of nature. And today we have Anna Frolik, who's here to speak to us about her experiences. Welcome, Anna. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here with you today.
Oh, it's really wonderful to have you, and I've been following you on YouTube and Facebook for quite a few years now, and so I feel really excited to be having this conversation with you. Your business is working with entrepreneurs and coaching. Is that?
Yeah, that's my main focus right now. I do have a few other things too. I've done a lot of things over the years, but that's definitely the main part of my business right now.
I think when I first came across you, you were creating beautiful oracle cards, and definitely there was the energy of fairies around you. I don't know if you were talking about fairies back then, or whether I just associate you with fairies. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's quite possible that I was talking about fairies. I definitely have had this connection for a really long time, and when I got started on my spiritual journey, I started working with the angels initially, but very quickly I did connect with the elemental realms, and I just felt this this familiarity in a way, like maybe half a year or so after I started working with the angels and I started exploring the elemental realms more. I just kept getting this feeling that I had once lived there myself, and that I was actually kind of an elemental in human disguise. So
I'm sure that's true.
yeah, I know. I do have memories. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I'd love to hear about some of them if you would be open to sharing a little bit about what you remember. Would that be?
Yeah, I can definitely share a bit. Like, there's a lot that I could share, but maybe I could just share a little bit about how I discovered this connection.
That'd be beautiful.
And yeah, as I already mentioned, it was just a feeling at first, and just a really strong fascination. And I guess even going back to my childhood, I always loved fairy tales and magic and all these things. And that was like my favorite thing to do before going to sleep. I'd always listen to fairy tales and on the weekends and pretty much all the time. And I'd write them too. But so when I got started on my journey as a spiritual teacher and intuitive, at some point I just wanted to know more about this connection and where it was really coming from. And I felt really connected to the elves at the very beginning, remembering the movies, the Lord of the Rings movies. And I just felt that these realms were real watching those movies, and I just wanted to know more. So I went into meditation, and then I started getting visions of myself in that realm. I was dancing with an elf, and there were lots of fairies around, and it was maybe, the vision lasted for maybe 5 minutes or so. It was not that long, but I just kept exploring more. And I remember being a mermaid as well, and times of Atlantis especially, and also actually seems to be my home planet, my original home planet. I got that from a couple of readings that I had with others who checked my Akashic records, that originally I'm a mermaid actually, but I feel more connected to the fairy realm at this time.
Do you still connect with the mermaids?
Yeah, I have been working a lot on integrating that part of myself more, and I feel it really has a lot to do with healing my feminine side, and there has been a lot in my family history and my own personal soul journey yeah, that has to do with like the wounding of the feminine, and just really connecting with that, or reconnecting with that part of myself more. That might be a lifelong journey.
Well, it's a big one that we're all carrying as women, right? Well, and men, I guess. It's a big wound on the earth, isn't it, that's shifting right now. So that,
Yeah.
I find that really fascinating, actually, because the merm energies really keep showing itself to me at the moment, and it's one of the elementals that I just have not really explored. So that's really interesting to me, what you shared there about it being around the feminine, which makes sense if it's the water element.
Yeah,
Well.
absolutely. And for me, it's very healing to spend time connecting with this energy, and just now living close to the ocean too. And I feel really connected to the sea creatures like the whales and dolphins and the seals and all those beautiful animals. Like,
wow, do you get them?
they're my friends.
Do you see whales and dolphins where you are?
Yeah, I saw a whale last year, and I saw a pod of dolphins earlier this year. It's definitely very special. And my partner just spent some time a bit further up north over the weekend, and he saw some orcas there. Just saw the video yesterday. It was so beautiful.
Wow, I mean, it's so magical in itself, isn't it? Just to connect, even connecting with these scene realms, right? Seeing and feeling these, like, they are like mystical beings. They are mystical beings, I feel.
Yeah, totally. I just feel that magic. And yeah, I remember maybe 5 years ago or so, I was on the ferry on my way to Vancouver Island, and there was, I think it was maybe gray whales or humpback whales, but they just felt like angels. Like I saw them before they announced them, and they were like right there, just right outside my window. And it's like, wow, that was so beautiful.
Yeah, what a gift. Yeah, there's such a transmission of energy that comes from them. Yeah, lovely. Oh, so is there anything else that you could share around the energy of the mermaids, the mer people?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot I could share. The connection that I often see when I connect with my own mermaid aspect, I think I may have already mentioned it, is the times of Golden Atlantis. I have some, more specific memories of myself being a mermaid in this realm first, and then wanting to explore the human realm, and so kind of shape shifting into human form, which is quite fascinating.
Within the same life experience, or deciding to
It's
be?
probably more than one incarnation, but I am a shapeshifter soul, so I'm pretty sure back then I would have been able to do that, just take on human form just for a bit and then go back into the ocean.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense with all the stories that there have been of mermaids who then can walk on land and then go back again. So I'm sure that happened. Oh, that's so beautiful. So is there any other lifetimes that come to mind in this moment that might want to be shared?
Good question. Yeah, I think not right now. Maybe, okay, let's try to see if there's anything more related to the fairies, perhaps. Yeah, just living with the elves. I think that's a really strong memory for me as well. Being an elf myself, and then being a fairy living with the elves. And
what do you think what do you feel like they have a message, or like there's a specific sort of quality associated with elves?
Actually, yes, definitely. When I got started on my channeling journey, which was about 5 years ago, I spent quite a bit of time communicating with the elves, and they had a lot of wisdom to share about the transformation that we're currently going through on Earth, about ascension, because they have experienced it themselves. And the elves have a lot of very ancient wisdom from other star systems, but also here on Earth. And before humans were present here on Earth in current form, the elves were actually, more. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain. So now we would see them as physical beings, but of course the vibration of the planet was much higher, and they were able to kind of manifest into physical form the way we would experience it right now. But we would probably not see them right now if we were kind of in the same realm.
Yes,
so
we're no longer vibrating at that same frequency. Yeah, that
and
makes sense.
but they left the physical plane after humans started to expand more on the planet, and there was a bit of a conflict there too between the two. So the elves decided to just retreat into the hidden realms. And
seems to be the story with the elemental realm in general, doesn't it?
Yeah, and just keep their wisdom to themselves for a long time. I've noticed like there's quite a difference between the elemental realms, like the different elemental realms. There are some that are a lot more open to communicating with humans, but elves are actually really shy. They don't like connecting with most human beings. So I feel quite honored to have that connection.
I'm going to ask you a kind of personal question. Like, what do you think it is, or do you know what it is about yourself that enables that connection?
Yeah, I think it's just that I have been an elf myself, and that they trust me for that reason.
Yeah.
Although there are actually quite a lot of incarnated elves on Earth too. Most people just don't know it.
Yeah, I've got another interview with another woman who's going to talk about the Elven energy, so I'm really looking forward to that too. I think she looks very and feels very much that Elven. It's like this sort of deep grounded sort of centered wisdom, I feel, with that energy. That's I haven't journeyed with it loads, but yeah, it's a kind of, I feel like they're bigger. They're almost closer to to humans than the fairies. And yeah, do you know what their role is on Earth?
Right now, I would say they're wisdom keepers, and they have a lot of sacred wisdom that will help us solve certain issues here on this planet. And it's already happening, but I think once we kind of start shifting into the higher levels, that will become more important. And yeah, they're very good at keeping secrets. But they know, like, once the time is right, they will share more. And also, I mean, just kind of help us remember what we already know, because we all have that wisdom within ourselves as well. And yeah, the other thing is, like, they have a really strong connection to nature, and so part of their mission is helping us heal our relationship with nature and the planet, and yeah, just totally change the way we are working with nature right now. So living in harmony with nature. But there are some really cool things that I've seen in my visions. For example, how they would communicate with trees, and the trees would grow in certain ways to create homes for them, and things like that. That was really awesome.
Nice, I like that. There are certain configurations of trees when I see them, and I'm just like, Elven. I don't know. I feel like I can just feel that. It's almost like a cathedral, is what I see. It's like a cathedral within the trees.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. Yeah. It's a much closer communication with nature, a much closer conversation they have. Like it's a different kind of relationship, which is really exciting. Then that's where we're going. That's what I feel like from what you're saying. It's like there's this wisdom that's being held for us. And when we are at that
Mm.
point where we're ready to receive it, it's there. It's like everything's in place.
Yeah, exactly. And like we're definitely not going back to where we're coming from, but we will reintegrate some of the wisdom from the past and create something new with that.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. So what about now? What are you working? Are you working with any specific energies at the moment that you might feel like sharing, like when it comes to work or?
Yeah, I definitely love to work with the elemental energies in my business too. And just because it's a really natural part of who I am too. And I find that whenever I really allow myself to express that in my work and my business, and for example, also in the way I do my marketing and all that, just everything flows
I really love
much more easily.
Yeah, it's on your homepage, you own it. You're like, I love fairies, like it's just there. It's coming out. And I think that was one of the reasons I was drawn to talking to you, is that your openness around, yeah, that it's integrated within your life. It's not something separate.
Mm. Yeah, well, I do share part of it, but also just using the energies in everything that I do, and just for manifesting too, like manifesting clients or things in my business. And I just find that when I do that, everything just flows so much more easily, and it's not much effort. Like I can just like I have to do my human work too, but other than that, I'm free to work my magic.
Would you be up for sharing a little bit about how you personally connect with them? Like, do you have any sort of rituals or an inner dialogue, or if there's anything that you do to create your connection?
I really like to keep things simple most of the time. I don't really have a lot of rituals, or even things like working with oracle cards. I still do it, but not as much anymore, because I just feel we don't really need those tools. Those are things that help us create that connection initially, but in the end, it's just realizing that we all have these energies and the wisdom within ourselves. So now it just feels a lot more natural, and the connection is just there because it's part of me. So it's more about allowing myself to express that part of myself. And I do communicate with them sometimes. And for example, you may have seen some of my posts on Facebook. One of our cats went missing last week, so that was definitely an opportunity to connect with the fairies and ask, what's going on, and just for protection and all that. But other than that, when I do communicate with the other realms, most of the time I just connect with my primary spirit guides, who are just right now here to help me with the things that I'm specifically working on. So that would be, one of my spirit guides, who is more, he's not an elemental, like he's more of an angel, and he has a strong connection to Atlantis too.
Beautiful. It sounds like it's just so integrated within you, that connection, that it's as simple as just going inward and tuning inward and receiving the energy of what it is that you want to work with. Is that how it feels for you? That it's just just simply going inward and just allowing it to move through you.
Yeah, I definitely say that's pretty much what it is. And other than that, it feels more like a telepathic connection to my guides. There's just, there's one thing, like I really had to learn to find myself again after a while, after working with the angels a lot for a while. And that's part of my lesson, or my soul lesson and challenges in this lifetime, to find my own authority. So for a while I just had to be on my own a little more, and now I have really clear boundaries. So when there's something that I know is my job, then I will do it. And if there's something that I know I need some help with, or I want to hear a different perspective on certain things, then I know, okay, now it's okay to ask for help and wisdom and guidance from the higher realms.
That's really beautiful, to be able to not be handing your power over to something else.
Yeah, and I think it's actually really important. It's a tendency that I see a lot in certain circles, and it can be really tempting, like when we are stuck in problems or just not wanting to deal with our human stuff at times, then like it can be tempting to give our power away to other beings, and that's not always the best thing to do.
I really agree. So there was, as you were talking, I was also being shown about your connection with nature as well, just to speak a little bit about your connection with nature, because you live in a very beautiful part of the world, and it's very fairy. The pictures you post of you're in Canada, in Vancouver, are you?
Close, yeah. I'm one ferry ride north of Vancouver right now.
And it is, the pictures that your photography is just so beautiful. It's all mossy, and it's just kind of what I imagine as fairyland, really. And so I wonder how much of how important it is for you to be connecting with nature as part of your everyday life. How that affects.
It's super, super important. I really need this connection to feel alive and to feel connected. I also feel it's part of my purpose. I think it has transformed over, let's say, over the years, and it will probably transform again. But right now I feel that part of the way I'm helping to heal the relationship between humans and the planet is just by showing the beauty of nature in my photography. And it works really well for me because I just naturally love to do that. And whenever I have time off and the weather's nice, that's kind of the first thing I'll do. Just go out in nature, and sometimes take my camera with me and take some pictures. And it works really well for my marketing too. So it's a really great synthesis of nature and everything else.
Yeah, you really capture that magical, enchanted fairy energy in your photography as well. So it really does help to shift people when they see those images. Yeah, it's a real gift. And do you feel the elemental energies when you're out walking?
Yes, absolutely. And it's just so healing. And I just experienced it this weekend too, just a couple of days ago. I was dealing with a bit of grief just after losing our cat. And we don't really know what happened. She might still return, but we don't know at this point. And so, I decided to just go for a hike. And immediately, whenever I get into the forest, I just I feel so much better and energized, and it feels magical for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really important. Oh, there's my cat. It's a really important. What's the word? It's just really important right now, isn't it, to be creating this connection with the earth, because we're being reminded of our nature, and so that we can bring that into the work that we do. That's my sense. It's this like whatever we're doing, whatever our outlet right now, for people like you and I who have remembered our elemental connections, then it's like it is part of our flow to bring that back and share it with people.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, and I love that, because even within your work where you're working with entrepreneurs, and are your clients sort of spiritually based? Is that how you would describe? They're like conscious, or have you got all sorts of people that come to you?
Almost exclusively highly conscious people. I have had some clients who are maybe more the beginning stages of their spiritual awakening, but I mostly find that when I work with these people, I'm not able to really share the depth of wisdom that wants to come through, or they might not always be able to understand what I'm sharing. So that, but yeah, it happens sometimes, but definitely for my longer term coaching programs, it's been pretty much exclusively highly conscious entrepreneurs.
And so they're open to you. Do you speak about the elemental realms? Does that come into your work, or is that more just a personal thing for you to be connecting with and receiving their energy or wisdom or support?
Yeah, they definitely come through most of the time, and it depends on the person I'm working with. But most of my clients actually have a pretty strong elemental connection too, so it's just part of connecting with their own purpose as well for most of my clients, and also just bringing in some of that magic. And the other aspect also is that, like, a lot of my clients, like, I've done a lot of inner child work with a lot of my clients, and that it really helps to bring those elemental energies into that work, because it just makes it a lot easier and lighter and playful, and that really helps.
Yeah, they're really great for that, aren't they? And they give you a really tangible feeling of that childlike quality, because it can be so easy for us to forget that feeling living in this crazy world sometimes. So yeah, really useful for that. It's really beautiful. And you have a really fun quiz on your website as well, don't you, where people can go and take the quiz and find out which elemental beings they're most similar to. Is that the idea?
Yeah. I also include some of the other realms in there too, so it could also be angels, or the star connection, like to other star systems, and wise ones who usually do have some elemental energy too. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, nice. So it's that full spectrum. And actually, it's really nice when we're talking about any beings that are from the unseen realms, and you are going into galactic star family as well. And yeah, it's all nature, isn't it? So just because it's another planet or another star system, it's still nature.
Yeah. And yeah, my partner, for example, is an incarnated angel, and he has like a tiny little bit of elemental energy from the dragon realms, but other than that, yeah. So that
How to pinpoint mine. It just seems to change all the time. Sometimes I feel so connected to one thing. Like I've had memories of being angelic, and then I've had memories of being a fairy, and so many things. I guess maybe it's what you were saying earlier about being the shapeshifter.
Yes, and that would probably mean that you have quite a bit of elven energy too, because the elves are actually shapeshifters, so they have aspects of pretty much all of the realms.
Yeah, I felt quite sure about that at one point actually, and people would say to me about being a fairy queen. I'd be like, no, I'm Elven. Like it feels very different. Yeah, that's really interesting. Oh, lovely. So, is there anything else that you would like to share in this space around any of the aspects?
I'm gonna say hi to your kitty.
I think he wanted to come be on camera there.
Oh. Girl or a boy?
That's a boy. That one. His name's Monty.
Oh, very cute. Yeah, mine is outside right now because he just loves to jump up on the computer and then do
Yeah.
all sorts of things and then bite me if I
The other cat has been here and come into the interviews a few times actually. I have to say, like especially my other cat, she's amazing. Like she watches energies in the room, like things that I can't see. She's really, yeah. Like I think she actually really helped to confirm to me that the beings were in my house and present with me. She's definitely been part of my journey of, yeah, like just really feeling into the beings that are present around me all the time.
Yeah, they're definitely very tuned into those realms. And I definitely see that a lot also when I'm working with clients. Like when I do energy healing work, the cats will just be there right away.
Yeah. Sometimes when because I don't have a proper door in my living room and they come in, they will sit on my clients occasionally. And I just know they're doing work. They're multi-dimensional beings.
Yeah, they enjoy the energy too.
Yeah, I think they do. Whatever it is. Yeah, so just feeling just maybe if there was anything else that you wanted to share before we finished.
Yeah, I think I can't really think of anything right now. I mean, there would be a lot still, but I think everything that's important has been said for today.
Right. I really appreciate you talking about like the work aspect as well. That felt like something that really wants to come through. I think I wanted to bring through and help to show that we can work with these beings in our everyday lives. It's not something to separate out. So I really appreciate you.
Yeah, and I actually think that aspect is really important. Like for me, for example, on this journey, like it's been a lot about, well, first opening up to these realms and to like my own soul memories, but then also really bringing it into this physical realm. And I'm very practical too in many ways. So for me, it's really important to have that connection to real life.
Yeah, and to bridge it. That's the whole, for me, that's what it's about. It's bringing that magic into the really grounded world, and so that it becomes one, so it's not that kind of separate, so that we can do grounded things but it can be magical as well.
Yes, and it's also part of the ascension process because we're not just going to a higher vibration, we're actually bringing heaven to earth, or kind of,
Absolutely.
because creating unity, that's pretty much what it is. So ending the separation and bringing the realms back together.
Yeah, beautifully said. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Anna, for coming and sharing some of your stories and your wisdom with us today. It's a real pleasure to have you here. And I will leave a link to your website and your Facebook page, and people can find you there if they want to come and work with you and just check out. And you share YouTube videos as well, and yeah, you share quite a lot of content actually. It's really beautiful. Yeah, there's lots of really juicy information that you share.
Yeah, well, I've been around for a long time, so I've actually been working on simplifying things a little bit and not always having to be present on every single platform. But yeah, I enjoy having that flexibility too. So
Yeah, lovely. Oh, thank you so much.
yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was fun to talk to you today. And
Great.
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you everybody for watching again, and we will see you again soon. So enjoy your connections with the elementals and have a beautiful rest of your day. Goodbye.